So hello students, good evening everyone. So in the last class we had discussed around three questions from paper test series number 5, that was on governance. So today we'll be discussing the remaining part, the remaining 7 questions. So without wasting much time, let us start the discussion. Okay. Okay, let us move. Let me open up the questions first. Okay. So we discussed RTI, we discussed digital illiteracy questions, or we also discussed the civil services reforms. Okay, that is on neutrality and effectiveness. So now coming to question number 4. The question number 4 is asking about evaluate the success of Mission Shakti in empowering women through self-help groups in Odisha. So this was also a 15 marker question. As you already know that in the governance syllabus you have this SHG part which you need to cover. So when it is coming to SHG, you should be well aware about the national schemes as well as the state specific scheme. So Mission Shakti, that was one of the major flagship scheme of the previous government in Odisha. So it was basically launched in the year 2001, but it became popular later on, especially during the last election. But it was introduced in the year 2001, and this is as I already said, this is a very pioneering initiative by government of Odisha, and the basic objective was to empower women through a self-help group, and to promote financial inclusion and livelihood generation, a sense of ownership, and most importantly, ensuring women empowerment through SHG, right? So you can also connect this kind of questions with other parts of the 17 goals of the of the SGD, Sustainable Development Goal, SDG. So this particular SHG is linked to which SDG? It is linked to SDG number 5, that is gender equality, and also there are so many national schemes also which are based on the similar idea, right? So most importantly, in the year 2023, what happened, this Shakti Mission Shakti, it was upgraded into a full-fledged department. You must be aware about this. So government of Odisha, keeping in view the criticality of this particular scheme, it upgraded it to a full-fledged department, and that reflects the growing importance of women-led development. Right now, the question is asking, we have to evaluate the success of Mission Shakti. So first we have to write that we written the introduction, the basic. I mean, what it was. The purpose was women empowerment. Then development of sense of ownership among women, and we also said that it is regarding economic emancipation of women. It was introduced in the year 2001, then it was upgraded into a department in the year 2013, blah blah blah. You can write it there only. Now we have to come towards the objective of this particular scheme. Okay. Now you all know what the objective was. I mean, the objective are already derived from the introduction. The first is it was the government was giving mutual support, economic incentives were there. Okay, and it aimed to organize women into self-help group. Second is to provide credit. Okay, and credit, I mean, the loan was given, and most of the loans were very interest-free loans. Government was not only providing loans but also providing necessary training for developing entrepreneurship and production capabilities. Okay, the government also put emphasis on developing markets related to that, right? Third point you can write it. It aim to ensure women's participation in local governance and decision making. As you all are aware, 73rd and 74th Amendment, there was specific provision about 33% reservation for women. So, women, just by giving political representation, it will not be sufficient until and unless you don't give them economic independence or economic autonomy. So, it is basically reciprocating the 73rd Amendment. Now, if it is, the question is asking about assess the or success or effectiveness of this particular scheme, then you can take some data of Mission Shakti. There is government of Odisha site. So as you all know that this is Odisha Public Service Commission. In Odisha Public Service Commission, questions can be asked from the state specific schemes as well. Okay, so you should go through all the noted schemes that were initiated by the previous government as well as the current government, right? So there were the total number of SAG I have noted. It was around 7.5 lakh SAG, and it covered around 80 lakh women in the state, and around 20,000 crore rupees were disbursed to the beneficiary groups with a very there was interest subvention, and there was zero interest up to loans up to 5 lakh rupees, right? So there was also Mission Shakti Bazaar. You people who are residing in cities, in municipal corporation, they must have seen this Mission Shakti Bazaar, where I mean, there are more than 200 outlets who are promoting SSG products, right? And if you see, especially the tribal products and jawar, bajra, and all these food products, and the processed food made out of these grains are especially promoted by Mission Shakti scheme. If you go to see the tribal areas, especially in Rourkela, or even in other parts of Odisha, also in Bhubaneswar, Cuttack, Sambalpur, everywhere, you will be seeing Mission Shakti outlets where bajra laddus and all these processed foods are sold by the tribal women, right? It also this Mission Shakti, yeah, it introduced a mobile app for e-marketing linkage. So there was also digital inclusion through Mission Shakti, right? The next important point will be financial inclusion. So before coming of the or rolling up of the Jan Dhan Yojana in the year 2014, so this particular scheme in Odisha is credited with including a lot of women into the financial network of or the formal financial networking system. Okay. It also led to skilling, reskilling, and upskilling of women in Odisha. I mean, and especially the tribal women, as I already said, nearly about 15 lakh women were trained in entrepreneurship and digital literacy, right? And the one of the most noted thing that was also covered in newspapers was that this particular SG scheme also the women in the rural or local level, they were directly involved in producing these PPE kits, sanitizers during COVID-19. So at a period where there was entire crackdown in the market economy, this particular scheme led to building of resilience among the women. Uh, these are mostly the advantages or the positive outcomes of the scheme. It is not entirely all about positivity. There are some challenges also regarding Mission Shakti. First is, you can write credit constant, though it is, I mean, 20,000 crore is given among these years. But if you go to the ground, there is a lot of delays in bank loans, and still now the procedural complexities are there, the documentation difficulties are there, where women, especially less literate or illiterate women, they face a lot of hurdles in getting their rights, right? Second issue, you can say the market linkage issue, because there is very limited access to the urban markets and e-commerce ecosystem. Another is there is also skill gap, because you only teach the tribal women how to produce goods, but the government has no such formal system in teaching or skilling the women how to market digitally, or the managerial expertise of their goods, right? And so these are some of the particular limitations of Mission Shakti. But then you can write the way forward, or the reforms needed. So keeping in view the what limitations we discussed, you can write that there can be things for skill diversification, then digital empowerment of women as well. Branding and marketing should be done in a better way. So these all can be written in way forward, right? So this is how you have to frame the answer. Now, coming to question number 5. So question number 5 is asking about the public charitable trusts have the potential to make India's development more inclusive as they relate to certain vital public issues. So this question is from role of the civil society. Okay, role of the civil society in Indian democracy, or the governance mechanism. So this question is particularly about public charitable trust. You must have heard about charitable trust. I mean, these are the trust who do charity or philanthropic activities, right? So they are legally distinct philanthropic institutions or entities. Okay, and there is a very old record of these agencies who have complemented in a significant way in various sectors of the nation. It is education. There are a lot of charitable entities providing scholarships or free education to poor children, health facilities, livelihood, skilling facilities. There are a lot of public trusts who are working in the field of disaster management as well. And the peculiarity or the speciality of this public trust is that their agility, because the government has a certain bureaucratic system, and it takes a significant amount of time to reach to the people or to the needy people, right? But this public charitable trust, they are very quick, they are very agile, right? They have very long term for funding horizon, and they focus on the excluded groups, and their role basically it is not antithetical to the government, rather it is supplementary and complementary to the government, right? Now as this question is asking that why this public trust are they are part and parcel for achieving inclusive development. The first point first, it is aiming towards targeted interventions. Okay, so there are so many trusts I know who design such program for marginal groups like the tribals, the Dalit migrant workers. For the state, schemes are patchy. They are not that penetrative. Okay. For example, you must have heard about community schooling, then mobile health clinics, livelihood incubation was thing. So these are some of the gray areas where government is not that. I mean, till now, government is not that capable to serve better, right? Second, it also this public trust, they are also very active in capacity building and advocacy. So there are so many trusts, they combine service delivery, they conduct a lot of research activities also, policy advocacy they do. I know many such public trusts which are in public policy sector. I mean, enriching how public policy can be enriched. They are in they grant projects, they grant funds to to pursue and conduct projects all over the country, right? And they basically bring about the implementation and gap and necessary reforms. So in the 21st century, in the contemporary times, government is also proactively and very like considerately hearing to the public trust for their recommendations, right? So the strengths we discussed, these are the strengths of the public trust. there are certain constraints or limitations of this trust also. One is there is a regulatory uncertainty is there, compliance burden is there, because public trust, the Companies Act and all this related legislation are amended very frequently, right? You must have heard about 12B. There is a form called 12B. There is another form called ATG. So this basically deals with the NGOs, right? So these regimes have been changed very significantly with each government when there is regime change. So these things also, these legislations also go through a change, and this short registration validity, they create a churn for many trusts. They create trouble for the trust. And there is secondly, there is fragmented legal framework. There is transparency and accountability gap as well, right? So and most of the agencies, they lack financial autonomy. They mostly depend on the CSR, corporate social responsibility grants, and there are so many fake public trust also, who are only whose only purpose is to gain the CSR thing, right? So you can coming, I mean, seeing the uh, shortcomings, you can write the measures or the way forward that need to be implemented. For example, you can rationalize the regulation. So there should be more harmonistic, or you should harmonize the central and the state rules, and extend registration validity as well. Second is you should standardize transparency norms. So mandatory public dashboards for program outcomes should be created. Audited impact reports should be given, right? So all these things should be implemented. Okay, nice. So we covered till question number 5. Now we'll be moving toward section B. So there was two questions, section A and section B. So section B is the first question starts with the citizen charter, right? So this is a very important area, and questions have been frequently asked, not only in governance paper, but also you will see such question from citizen charter and ethics. People who have public administration optional, they can also see these kind of questions coming very frequently. So citizen charter, the question is the citizen charter has been a very landmark initiative in ensuring citizen-centric administration, but it is yet to reach its full potential. Identify the factors hindering the realization of its promise and suggest measures to overcome them. Right. So first, I mean, you must, if anyone who is preparing diligently, you must be aware about what is a citizen charter. So it is basically a written document. You go to any government office. It may be collectorate or DSP office or Tehsil office, BDO office. Any office, you will find a citizen charter there. I mean, any public service uh, giving authority, they must bound with the citizen charter. I mean, they must have a citizen charter. It is basically a written document that includes things like standard of services, time for service delivery, then rights of the customers or right of the clients, the citizens, with the grievance redressal mechanism, the expected behavior from the citizens as well. So it was basically introduced in the UK in the year 1991 by John Mayer, the then Prime Minister of UK, and in in India it was started in the year 1997 by DARPG, Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievance. Okay, that looks into all the administrative related stuff, right? So the first you need to structure the question. So first you need to write the significance of citizen charter. Okay, so what citizen charter is doing, it is institutionalizing the right to service by ensuring time bound delivery of services. Second is it encourages transparency and ethics in government functioning, and this citizen charter has transformed the citizens into clients. So it is basically clients of governance, right? Next, then after explaining a bit about this, the main focus of the question is about the limitations of the question of the citizen charter. So there are certain limitations. For example, uh, in any government office you see, the citizen charter is written in English. Okay, but in rural India, if you go, most people are not well versed in English, so they don't get or they don't understand what is written exactly in citizen charter. So first thing first, citizen charter should be written in understandable, in a simple language, in the vernacular language, so that people or the clients or the real beneficiaries of all the service delivery programs, they should understand what is the core idea behind citizen charter, right? So poor drafting, first of all, I would say. Most of the times you will see citizen charter, they are very generic. They are seriously missing the quantifiable standards. Second thing is low awareness among the people, citizens. I mean, most of the people you see, they are rarely informed about their service rights. Okay, there is weak accountability because there is no such legislation or any statute that is legally binding the citizen charter. So this leads to weak accountability, and the officials also they face no such penalty for delaying or not implementing citizen charter in a robust manner. Uh, Fourth is lack of stakeholder consultation. So it is entirely, citizen charter is built entirely in a unitary manner. I mean, the top echelons of the government, they decide what is to be written in citizen charter. So actual benefits of the people are not consulted while making citizen charter. It is also talking about the grievance redressal system, but the redressal system is very fragmented. There is any like absence of any single window complaint redress, right? So all these are the restraints or the sorry limitations of citizen charter. Now we can write about the measures to improve effectiveness. So you can address all the problems that we discuss. Legal backing should be there. There must be a public service act that is enforcing citizen charters in every government office. Okay, there should be performance audit by independent agencies, not by government agencies, rather independent audit agencies. Okay, there should be digital integration as well. So citizen charter can be linked with, for example, CP grams. Umang portal is there. So these are real-time dashboards. So this can be done. Okay. Next, the officials also, they are not very aware about the citizen charter. The government has this very basic need to train the officials in citizen centric behavior, that is advocated by Mission Karmagi, as we already have discussed in the previous section. So citizen charter, it dealt in this ARC2 also. There is a model discussed in ARC2, that is Sevottam. It is a combination of two words: Seva, service; Uttam, excellence. So excellence in service delivery. But the promise done by this citizen charter remains to be very unrealized, right? Because there is no strong enforce mechanism, and there is no very like participatory monitoring of this particular scheme. Okay, so this is how you can frame this particular answer. Now coming to next question, question number 6, sorry, question number 7. Okay, so we are done with 5 6 question. Yeah, so question number 6 7 is asking about e-governance as a critical tool of governance has ushered in effectiveness, transparency, and accountability in government. What inadequacies hamper the enhancement of these features? So e-governance, let me tell you, it is a must coming question in upcoming exams, right? The mains especially. So be very thorough in every aspect of e-governance, right? So e-governance, as you all know, electronic governance is the use of ICT, information and communication technology, to deliver government services efficiently, effectively, and transparently and inclusively. So this is e-governance. So how India started this journey? It was basically boosted by NEGP. So this particular scheme, NEGP, is National E-Governance Plan. That was initiated in the year 2006, very long, around back 20 years. And it is this NEGP, this evolved into Digital India Mission, that was initiated in the year 2015. There was digital public infrastructure DPI in the year 2023. So it has metamorphosized in a later period of time. So what are the achievements of e-governance? So first is obviously transparency, good governance. There are so many online platforms nowadays. For example, RTA is made online. There is e-procurement. There is government e-marketplace, which reduce basically the discretion of the government officials. And if there is more discretion, there is more chances of corruption. Second, it has led to more efficiency. For like DigiLocker is there, Umang scheme, e-district. So the paper-based bureaucracy has been lessened, or it has been reduced to uh, better monitoring through the monitor, right? Accountability has been there. PM Gati Shakti, there are aspirational blocks, there are track outcomes as well. Financial inclusion, there are Aadhaar based UPI, that JAM trend, so all these are achievements. Then you can write so many inadequacies or challenges of this. There is a digital divide. For example, 60% of the rural household, they still don't have internet access. This is one of the government data. I mean, very very pressing data that in this contemporary times, also in the age of cheap internet, 60% of people in rural areas are not in a condition to use internet. That may be due to financial constraints or due to infrastructural issues. Proper network system is not there. Second is there is low digital literacy. We already have discussed in the previous questions as well. Cyber security risk is there because there is so many cases of data breaches, which demand for strong safeguard schemes. There is interdepartmental silos as well, because there is lack of interoperability and among the various state portals. So there is a duplication of this data, and most of the people in rural area, they were very resistant to change. So this legacy bureaucracy is still very paper centric, and people are not in a condition to accept that. Okay, so these are some of the challenges. You can then move towards way forward. Then there should be what unified platforms are there. There should be capacity building. There should be better infrastructure. Universal connectivity should be there. Citizen feedback loops should be there. Okay, so all these schemes we can write in the way forward. Now, coming to the next question, question number 8. So question number 8 is again from the civil society portion. It is asking about the pressure groups. So it is the question is asking, pressure groups play a very vital role in influencing the public policy making in India. Explain how business associations contribute to public policy. So straightforward questions, nothing intricacies, no complexities. Write it as simple as you can. Define pressure groups. So pressure groups are what? They're organized interest groups that seek to influence the government policies without contesting election. They are non-political groups, but they lobby, they put pressure on the government. For example, there are so many uh, pressure groups, and remember, pressure groups not works for the entire societal welfare. They are particularly motivated to uh, what motivated to further the interest of a certain political group, sorry, a certain entity. Okay, for example, pressure group of farmers, pressure group of teachers. So they are what circled in their extent, they are not vast. Okay, so they are limited in their extent, they further the interest of a particular group, right? Next. So you might have known so many business associates or pressure groups. For example, FICCI, SOCM is there, NASCOM is there. So there are so many. I mean, innumerable pressure groups are there. There are corporate pressure groups. There is the trade pressure group. There is farming pressure groups. Okay, uh, bureaucratic pressure groups, industry pressure group. Okay, so these pressure groups, they basically do what? they are an interface between the industry and the government. Okay, they lie in between, and they significantly shape the economic policy, the upcoming economic policy of the country. Now, the question is about public policy. How, what is the interlinkages between public policy and pressure groups? So first thing first, public consultation and advocacy. So this private research in sorry, this private entities or the pressure groups, they give research inputs, they give position papers, they put white papers, they put pre-budget memoranda. Remember, whenever the budget is being prepared, all the pressure groups are taken into into confidence. What are their expectations? What are their demands? So this is also taken into consideration while preparing budget. Okay, there are a lot of rounds of meeting by the government, especially Minister of Finance, with all the pressure groups as well, right? Then they put regulatory feedback. They suggest amendments or the reforms for industrial, trade laws, labor law. The labor law, that unification of labor law, is basically a result of the the efforts or initiatives put by these pressure groups. Okay, this labor code to 2020. This is basically done by the consultation of FICCI. Okay, they also promote the ease of doing business in India. So many pressure groups, they are collaborating with the DPIIT in the Ministry of Commerce on Business Reforms Action Plan, Startup India Initiative. So all these particular schemes are basically put forward that they are boosted by the pressure groups. Okay, they are actively involved in skill development, CSR alignment as well. Now, so these are all the positive points that we wrote in favor of the pressure group. There are so many challenges or criticisms as well. By For example, in this pressure group, there are the big corporations or the big companies. There is over representation of this, whereas the MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises, the people working in MSME sector who who have a lion's share in the Indian economy, they have a limited role in policy advocacy, right? That is one of the issue, probably why the public schemes are not penetrating, or it is benefiting the people in the last row. Second thing, potential for policy capture and lobbying without any transparency. You all are very aware about this, that the lobbying groups, they try to further the policy benefits towards them. There is also weak internal democracy inside this pressure group. The most people having resources, people having muscle power, they are controlling the entire thing in the pressure groups, whereas there is no democracy, internal democracy, and there is also no grassroots or very limited grassroots linkage as well. Okay, so this is how you can address this question. Question number, next question. So we're done with this question. Question number 9. It is asking about the question is, can civil society and non-government organizations present an alternative model of public service delivery to benefit the common citizen? Okay, understand the question first of all. It is asking about civil society. Can civil society and NGO? Remember, civil society is the larger set. NGO is coming under the subset of civil society. So a civil society is, suppose it is the set. NGO is coming with it. Community-based organization is coming with it. Interest groups are coming within it. Pressure groups are coming. Media, political parties. So everything is coming under civil society. So it is asking about, does this agencies present an alternative model of public service delivery? Can you trust these non-governmental agencies as a medium to deliver the public services which can benefit the common citizen? Okay, so it is asking that and as an alternative. Okay, and it is also asking about, discuss the challenges of this alternative method, right? So how can start this question? Very creative questions. Uh, Remember, civil society and the NGOs, they act as a third sector. Okay, and they bridge the gap between whom? They bridge the gap between citizen and the state, right? Because what they do is they complement the government efforts in reaching the vulnerable population. Remember, government cannot do or cannot make legislation for everything. This is not possible. or government cannot reach every. I mean, there is some aspect, for example, casteism is something government, I mean, has a very less scope to work on. Whereas this kind of agency, the civil society or the NGOs, they can play a very proactive role in addressing this kind of social issues. For example, reaching the vulnerable groups, promoting social accountability, or innovating new kind of service delivery models. So these things can be done by the uh, NGOs, and they do not they do not what they're not an alternative to the government. They rather complement the government, right? So as you know, India has around more than 30 lakh NGOs who operate in diverse field. So many are working in education, health, environment, disaster relief, many. Okay. So next, after introduction, we have to discuss that can NGOs be an alternative model of service delivery. We have to discuss how. Okay. So first thing, innovative grassroots solutions. So NGOs, like for example, you must have heard about an NGO called Pratham. It is related to education. So it conducts research, advocacy regarding primary education, basic literacy in all over India. So this is one of the most credible NGO where which data is even used by the government in making policies. Seva NGO is there for livelihood, who basically they are very scalable model for later, which are later adopted by the government, right? There is inclusive reach, as I already discussed this point. The NGOs and civil society, they can ensure accountability and social audit at the ground. With social audit, it is also part of your syllabus. Because these NGOs, they strengthen the participatory governance. For example, there is an organization called MKSS, Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan in Rajasthan, which had initiated the RTI thing in the country, which later on became a revolution, governance revolution in the country. Okay, so this effective, I mean, they can be very effective. They are also very handy in disaster and crisis management, especially during COVID-19 relief. Government was at one point of time, government was could not reach out to each and every corner of the country, and at this critical juncture, the NGOs became very helpful. Not only during this time, you must have remembered that during Cyclone Fani in the 2019. So NGO had a very phenomenal role to play in the entire disaster recovery and relief cycle. Okay, and last but not the least, they are also engaged in policy advocacy. What are the challenges? You all know there is regulatory constraints. Again, they are financially very fragile. There is capacity gaps. Okay, NGOs don't have trained staff. They don't have digital systems. There is accountability issues because there is uneven transparency. Even NGOs severely lack in transparency things, and there is large scale misuse of fund. Most of the NGOs, they take funds from the government through CSR initiatives and they misuse it. Okay, political suspicion are there. They have so many NGOs have ideological bias. You must have remembered about this uh, what SIMI, Student Islamic Movement of India. It was basically an NGO that was found to be involved in anti-national activities later on and banned by the Home Ministry last year. Okay, so this is how you can write the challenges. Okay, next you write way forward according to the challenges and you conclude the answer. Very easy. Okay. Next, coming to the last question of this uh, test series, governance test series number 5. Question number 10, it is asking about the emergence of fourth industrial revolution, that is digital revolution, has initiated e-governance as an integral part of the government. So let me tell you what is fourth industrial revolution or the digital revolution. It is basically characterized by upcoming of the artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, IoT, big data, blockchain technology, robotics, cloud computing. So these things, they have what dominated the digital sphere throughout the universe. So how coming of this, all the technologies have changed the governance sphere, right? So in India also this revolution has driven the shift from bureaucratic delivery to a very smart data-driven e-governance system, and it has become a core function of the state also to promote digitization of of the governance entire system. So how this four industrial revolution has have enabled e-governance in the country. So this should be a fast. After intro you have to write this. So first you have to write the role of every technology. For example, you are writing about artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is very large, very very broad domain, and usage of AI you can find in every area: education, health, agriculture, every in defense sector, everywhere. Okay, so government of India has also using this particular technology in a very handy manner. There, then you can write the role of the big data analytics. Then you can write the role of IoT, blockchain, machine learning, automation, and robotics. So you can go on, right? Then you can write the benefits. For example, it is minimizing the discretion of the bureaucracy. That means it is leading to transparency, it is leading to accountability, it is there is speed and efficiency of this particular technologies. There is it is as the citizen centric, citizen inclusion is happening in a better way. They don't have to visit to the government office. There is a less physical interaction. Okay, so you can write 6 points in what the benefits of the fourth industrial revolution or usage of these technologies. Then you can write about challenges. What are the challenges? Digital divide, cyber security risk. Then there is ethical dilemma, AI bias. AI is controlling everything. I mean, it is shrouded around dilemma, ethical dilemma as well. And then you can write the way forward. Just every point you are writing, don't explain it much. Just give an example or single sentence in that. You don't need to explain everything in detail. What should be the way forward? Digital India that act should be there should be a law which is regulating all these things. Otherwise it would become a Frankenstein monster, right? There should be a law for the data governance. Second thing, cyber resilience should be there. Security apparatus should be strengthened in the country for maintaining the privacy safeguards, right? We should also build a AI ready bureaucracy. For example, through Mission Karma Yogi, we can promote open source interoperable platforms for federal synergy. So all these things can be done. Then you can conclude it. Okay. So basically, you can write and conclude by this fourth industrial revolution should promote technology of the people, by the people, and for the people, right? So everything should be centered around people, so that there should be a fusion between technology and democracy. So this is how you can frame the answer to get good marks. I hope all the questions were detailed. You understood the core demand of the question and how to frame each question. So if you like, then please share and subscribe, and give a like. And if you have any further doubts, you can write in the comment section as well. So that's all from my side. So thank you. Bye bye. Good night.